The Prius runs on a hybrid battery and a gasoline motor, but it also has an auxiliary battery that's located in the hatchback area. When that auxiliary battery dies, the Prius, for all intents and purposes, is dead. So, what to do? This tutorial is meant for the mechanically inept, like myself. So, if you're a good mechanic, don't bother. However, for those who want to save a few dollars, this might be helpful. First of all, be sure you have your owner's manual. If by chance you've lost it, you can download the 2005 Prius owner's manual at the URL shown. In fact, if you don't mind waiting just a few extra minutes, it's a free download. You also will need a good set of jumper cables, and of course another car to do the jump start from. Toyota has buried its auxiliary battery deep under the hatchback compartment, and the hatchback door often refuses to open when the battery is dead. Don't worry, Toyota's designed a way to jumpstart the car from under the hood. In fact, this is preferable because you're further away from the battery. More about that soon. But suppose the car doors won't open and you can't get the hood up. Now what? Fortunately, Toyota has built a mechanical key inside the smart key. So hold the slot up as you pull the key out, and now you can open up the driver's door. Once inside, pull up on the hood lock release lever, which pops the hood. Now, there's a hood auxiliary catch lever at the front. Push up on that and you can raise the hood. Locate the hood support rod, which is attached to the bottom of the hood, and insert it into the support rod slot on the driver's side of the car. With the hood up and supported, you can work inside the engine compartment. Find the fuse block cover, it's over on the driver's side, and remove it by lifting on the two tabs seen here. There also are two positioning tabs, but it should come up once the two tabs are loosened. Let's review a couple important points before we try to jumpstart our Prius. First, move the booster vehicle as close as possible to the Prius, but do not allow the cars to touch. Second, turn off the ignition on both cars. If the smart key is inserted in the Prius, remove it. Third, turn off all unnecessary accessories, lights, radio, and so forth. You may need to leave your hazard lights on if it's nighttime. Fourth, set the parking brake on both cars. Fifth, put both cars in park. If your booster car has a manual transmission, put it in neutral. Sixth, if the battery posts or clamps are corroded, you should clean them. You can use steel wool to do this. Seventh, automotive batteries produce hydrogen gas, which is explosive. So, don't smoke, and don't let those jumper cables touch each other. Whenever possible, jumpstart cars in a well-ventilated place. If required, remove the vent plugs from the booster battery and lay a cloth over the open vents. This can reduce the hazard of explosion. Eighth, automotive batteries contain sulfuric acid, so try not to touch the surface, and if possible, wear safety glasses. Ninth, when a car does start, there are rapidly moving belts and pulleys inside the engine compartment, so watch out for long hair or loose clothing. For reasons noted in points 7, 8, and 9, do not lean over the battery or the engine compartment. 10th and last, don't let the jumper cables dangle inside the engine compartment. You don't want them to touch each other and short out. Looking down at the fuse block, we see the red jump-starting terminal cover, this little plastic thing. Underneath it is the positive terminal. Now, a little bit to the left is an excellent grounding point. Carefully lift up the red plastic terminal cover, and you'll see the positive terminal underneath. This is where you will clamp the positive booster cable. Usually that's the one with the red handles. This is the engine compartment of our boosting vehicle. You'll see the battery on the lower right. I'm not going to cover up the vent holes in order to keep the illustration simpler, but we next connect the positive booster cable to the positive terminal of the booster battery. Be absolutely certain it's the positive terminal, because if you cross terminals, you can cause a lot of damage. Next, connect the ground booster cable to the negative terminal of your booster battery. The ground cable generally has the black handles. Finally, attach that other end of the grounding booster cable to that good grounding point inside your Prius. Now we're ready to try the jump start. Turn off all accessories, and if it's safe to do so, turn off the headlights. Be sure the handbrakes on both cars are engaged and that the transmissions are in park. Start the booster vehicle's engine and let it run for a minute or so at about 2,000 RPM. This is easy if the booster car has a tachometer, but if not, just let the car idle at a moderate speed. Push the start button on the Prius and make sure the ready light comes on. If the hybrid vehicle battery warning light comes on, you have a discharged hybrid battery as well. If this is the case, shut down both cars and call your Toyota dealer. But most likely, your Prius will be idling happily. Let the Prius charge for about 5 minutes. Now, carefully disconnect the jumper cables in the reverse order of how you attached them. First, remove the Prius negative clamp. Second, the booster vehicle negative clamp. Third, the positive clamp on the booster vehicle. And finally, the positive clamp on your Prius. Push down the red terminal cover and snap the fuse block cover back into place. Close the hood. Congratulations! You're ready to roll. As long as your auxiliary battery can still hold a charge, your Prius should continue to start up and run fine. But if your auxiliary battery is at the end of its useful life, you probably will have trouble starting your engine the following morning. If this is the case, you're going to need to replace it. But this is a new project for another day. Good luck and stay tuned.